And hello everybody, welcome back to another ParCraft video. So this week, we don't have Nightmare with us, but we still have our beautiful base. It's gorgeous. So Nightmare's not going to be able to join me for every episode of ParCraft because traveling, being busy, other stuff. Whenever he has something going on, it's going to be just me, which includes this episode. At first, I planned to do other stuff weeks he's gone, but ultimately I decided I'm starting to feel this whole ParCraft thing, especially after we got, the basis of that house, of that underground house done. So I figured this episode, let's get some stuff done. And by that, I mean build a massive farm, because who doesn't like a massive farm? So here's the plan. We're going to make it at this level right here. And we're going to start with moving this way. That way we can collect dirt before we move back the other direction. So that then we can fill in gaps. And yeah, fill it in. And I want to make this thing massive. Because my plan is we're going to make a shop for this. And it's going to be epic. So let's go ahead and just get this first area figured out. I'm going to do the first couple with you guys and then 3, 4, and then I'm going to switch to doing a bit of this off camera and I'll see how much we get done. We'll probably get a bunch done. Because I want to make this thing massive, as I said. But yeah, so we need to put the water buckets 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 apart. So another 1, 2, 3, 4, and then water. And this is basically the gist of it. We're going to go super far with this thing. And yeah, the idea is we can sell bread and we can also breed cows and sheep and other stuff with the wheat to give us more stuff to sell, whether it's wool or leather or steak, whatever. Just increase the variety of our shop so that we appeal to more customers, because some people don't like bread. Because, it gives less saturation. It's, it's not as good of a food source as, say, steak or... I think it's about the same as chicken. But yeah, so not everybody likes their bread for their food source. But okay, I think I'm gonna get a couple more of these done. I'm at least gonna get another 2, probably, maybe a bit more. We'll see how I'm feeling. It's beautiful. So realistically, this is 6. Wait, what would these be? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. These are 6 9x9s. Let me just, because I'm bad at math for whatever reason, or at least in my head. Okay, so 486 minus 6, that's 480 wheat that we can grow on this at once. Now we're going to want to upgrade it in the future because this is not going to be enough to fuel, well, it might be enough to fuel a full shop, but you never know. So I'm going to try and get what bone meal I can. I'm going to leave a little bit in case I need to get sheep and dye them all the same color. I'll leave a bit of bone meal because I might make a sheep farm, might make a cow farm. I might find something else to do. But yeah, I'm going to try and expand this what I can, and I'll be back. Well, it's not much, and there's still a lot more area to fill out, but it's coming along. I kind of want to go run around collecting a bunch of seeds, but I also really don't. So I'm gonna not yet, but I will here at some point probably. Maybe I'll just wait till I can harvest these and then spread it out and do that a couple times to fill it in. We'll see for sure. But so there's something that we've forgotten to do. You might see I have some spruce logs on my hotbar. We haven't filled in most of this stairway. I'm going to start down at this layer so in that way, it still has kind of that... I was not aware of this. It still has kind of that... Whoops, I'm tossing everything now. But, yeah, this way it still has kind of that secretive feel while at the same time looking nicer. Because one of the things to consider is that we're no longer really at a point of needing secrecy. Like, the first couple episodes, the point of having secrecy was that... Okay, well, that's... If there happened to be somebody on the server who was more griefing prone that we didn't know about, we'd not have, our house suddenly vanish one day. But now that we're kind of in a situation where we're a bit more settled down, most of the guys on the server, even though, I haven't seen them, even though, ParCraft isn't, it's kind of dead, not gonna lie. Like, I don't know for sure how much the other guys play, but I'm pretty sure it's fairly infrequently. But those that do still play, most of them, I know pretty well at this point, so I don't think any of them's gonna randomly grief our stuff. And yeah, so not as important as it was when we first started to have bits of secrecy with our base, which is nice because it's a bit of a pain to remove the drip block every time. But yeah, adding that in makes it a lot nicer. Now, do we want to make this crafting tables all the way up? That might be fun. I don't know. Decisions. I don't like this water. Why in the world is there a sign there? Questions I would like to answer. Whoops. Well, good news is it doesn't matter because ladders were still there. I think I'm going to just make these spruce, because we might even change these crafting tables to spruce at some point in time. Definitely not yet, but yeah, at some point we might decide to swap them out. I don't know. I don't want to make any base decisions without Nightmare, that's for sure. Because, this is our base, not just my base, so I don't want to make any decisions without him. But I definitely, don't think that that's an excuse not to work on it when Nightmare's not around. Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and make this spruce too. I feel like it gives a bit of a weird feel not to now. Yeah, that works. It still gives kind of the hidden in the mountainside feel, but it looks kind of weird to not bring it up all the way for bringing it up that far. But yeah, that helps the aesthetic quite nicely. I look forward to us getting our rooms and stuff done back here. And we're probably going to leave it open for future expansions, because if this series continues on for a while, we're definitely going to need the space. And yeah, this has been an interesting series, like, on my channel wise, because, like, it's been kind of popular, not super popular. And it's one of those things where it's kind of been eternally on the on the proverbial chopping block, and still kind of is. Like, if I posted this video and got like 2 views, I'd probably be like, yeah, I'm not gonna record unless Nightmare's around. I'll probably go back to that kind of mindset. But at the same time, if I post this and get like 20 views, I'm gonna be looking a little bit more at, like, do I want to find a way to up it to twice a week? Whether that means cutting back single player to once a week, or well, I don't know what else I'd cut back. I'd have to make like a double week, because I definitely don't want to cut entanglement back yet, for sure, because we're at a point in the series where, like, we're finally moving along, we're getting close to being able to fight the dragon, we got a bunch of stuff to do in the nether, so it doesn't really feel like it would be right to cut entanglement back to once a week. Also, I don't want to, because I enjoy it, which, actually, speaking of that, there's going to be an entanglement video coming out today as well, because I kind of done goofed, and, well, no, I didn't done goof, YouTube done goofed, and the uploading failed of said entanglement video the night before it was supposed to come out. So yeah, coming out late. I kind of like this mountainous terrain. I also feel like it's like a little off. Like kind of back here, it might look a little better. Something like that maybe looks a little nicer. I don't know. I've been kind of blabbering and haven't been doing anything in particular. Maybe I should add a little bit more to the farm while I talk, because, you know, I kind of have stuff to talk about. And I feel like that's something that I've been missing in my videos a lot lately. I don't know if you guys have been missing it or not, but, like, I feel like I'm not doing as much talking about other stuff lately in videos, which maybe is a good thing. Maybe it means that I'm growing as a YouTuber, but at the same time, you know, I enjoy these kind of periods of talking for a bit. It's the sort of reason why both Manta Ray and your boy Blazer have like kind of podcast sort of things. It's because they like to interact with their fan base and talk about stuff, but at the same time, you hit a point in your videos when you're editing and cutting and stuff. I don't actually edit. I just, you know, pause recordings. But when you start getting enough cuts in your recordings that you kind of lose some of that conversationalness of the video, which can, in my opinion, improve how the feel for some people, and for other people it kind of ruins it. And as a creator, I feel like it's something that, you know, keeping close to your fan base is a very strong privilege of being a smaller creator, and something that a lot of people start to lose when they grow into bigger channels, because they don't have as much of an opportunity to interact with their fan base. So I'm at one of those points right now at around 200 subscribers where I'm starting to gain some popularity, but at the same time I still, you know, I recognize the name of pretty much anybody who regularly watches my streams. Like, if you're on my stream and you chat every time you get on, and you're on, you know, maybe 2 streams a month, chances are I recognize your name. So I'm at one of those points where, you know, I know my fan base. That's weird, that lighting. But yeah, I'm at a point where I get to know my fan base, but at the same time, you know, still not be a tiny channel where I never know when I post a video whether or not I'm going to even get views, let alone worrying about when my next subscriber is going to go up. So, like, it's one of those things where I feel like I'm at a very good point that's kind of where you hear a lot of big YouTubers reflecting back to how nice their time at that point in their channel was and stuff like that. So obviously I don't know for sure. I don't know what it's like to be a big YouTuber or whatnot, but yeah, it's definitely one of those things where I want to enjoy the time I have at this point, where, you know, I still get to feel close to my fan base. And I feel like it's nice to have some of these segments where I'm more talking while doing something rather than doing something while talking, where, you know, it just lets me feel close to my fan base. Did that sound too emotional? That sounded kind of cheesy. But yeah, some of you definitely probably understand what I'm talking about. Like, if Manta Ray is watching this, for example, he probably gets what I'm talking about and stuff like that, where, you know, it's just a very special time on my channel that I want to make sure I enjoy to the fullest. And don't get me wrong, I'm excited to grow larger, because as I grow larger, obviously once I hit 1,000 subscribers, I can, well, 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 public watch hours, so it'll probably be a little closer to 2,000 subscribers before I can start making any money. And you know, it's going to be very nice to be able to start making some spare change off my videos that can go to paying for college, for example. Because obviously, I'm not going to be at a point where YouTube can pay for college at any time in the near future, but, you know, starting to get some of that out of the way when you're still younger is definitely something you hear, or at least I hear, you know, older people who have gone through college and it's been a while and still have some college debt regret that they didn't do something to start making money while they were in college and before they were in college and stuff. So while I don't expect to, you know, ever make any actually decent money off of YouTube, it would be amazing to make enough to help support my college fund. And I feel like that's something that a lot of people around my point in life and YouTube kind of feel similar, where it's like it's not like we expect to make money. I at least do this fully aware that I could never make. There's a decent chance I could not make a single cent off of YouTube, and I'd be totally fine with that. Because, you know, it's a hobby. I do it because it's fun. I do it because I enjoy making content for you guys. But at the same time, if I get the opportunity to, I won't say no. So yeah, I don't know. Definitely interesting stuff to think on. And yeah, I feel like YouTube really is more about interacting with your fan base above all else. Because let me put it this way, just as some of you guys probably have memories of, you know, as you were growing up, or even now at this point in your lives, where, you know, YouTubers are your friends. Like, this is definitely something, you know, I experienced a bit of growing up. I've talked to Riptide about this, how, like, you know, they don't know your name per se, and you might not even know theirs. But, like, there's just something about that connection that's very special. And, you know, being on the other side of it, I can say that, at least personally, it's a two-way street. Like, as a content creator, I very much so appreciate my fan base, and, you know, you guys have done so much for me, even if it doesn't feel like that to you guys. And yeah, I just really appreciate it. So yeah, anyway, that got a little mushy gooey, but it's something that I feel like is important that I at least say at some point in time before, you know, I get, because even at the point that I'm at, like, I have a bit of concern, like, even at 300 subscribers, for example, like, well, not 3,000, but like 300. At the point that I'm hitting, like, in the thousands, like, will I still recognize almost all the names from when I'm doing a live stream and stuff like that? Because I'm already bad with names in general. But yeah, I don't know. Stuff that I guess probably isn't too important for me to think about, because we're still a long ways off from 300, let alone anything beyond that. But I feel like this was a nice segment that I might do every once in a while. Might be something I've been trying to do more in ParCraft videos, where, you know, I work on something while I talk about this stuff. Just get a bit more of something special for this series that's different than how I do the rest. Because I feel like that'll help a lot. And I think what I'll do is I might make it slightly less edited. Maybe not even slightly less edited. I might just record for a bit longer, so in that way I can have these 10-minute things a little bit closer to the end. And I think I'm going to do this. Just gotta, you know, say all this. But, is I'll do it towards the end. Like the first couple minutes, like first maybe 5 minutes of every ParCraft video will still be what's normal for my videos, more cuts, you know, going from one project to the other with me mostly showing the results and stuff like that. And then after we get maybe, I want to say, well, once we get past those first couple minutes, we'll have more of one of these sort of segments where I talk for longer. Although, I don't know how that'll work when Nightmare's around, so might not want to make any promises, but this might be how I do my solo ParCraft videos, just to still kind of give me a chance to experience this, because this is how I used to record all of my videos, and it's something I kind of miss a bit. Because back in the day, like when I rewatched some of like my old hardcore videos and stuff like that, part of the video was it was more that I was sitting down and I'd, you know, talk about my day, what I did, whatever, and, you know, would play while I did it. Whereas now it's a lot more of kind of the game's the focal point, and I feel like that's the natural way things come to for the YouTube videos. And I feel like it was kind of inevitable that we'd reach that point. But at the same time, I feel like it would be nice to have kind of a flashback to how I used to run it every once in a while. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. And yeah, besides that, I've been rambling for a while. Thank you all so much for watching. And I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.